The numbers are not looking good, Ramesh.
Not good.
Not good.
Not good.
Very bad.
But sir,
Research findings are dismal.
Disheartening.
Depressing.
Disturbing.
Devastating.
but sir, why don't you
And it's Christmas. No one's working. You just can't get a ticket to India. It's not possible, Ramesh.
Not possible.
Not possible.
Not possible.
Impossible.
But sir, why don't? But sir, why? But why don't you try MakeMyTrip.com?
Oh.
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 Hello?
Hello, MakeMyTrip.com.
Planning a trip to India? Call 1-800-INDIA-10 or log on to MakeMyTrip.com, your India travel specialist.
I'm Sharat Raju. I'm the director and producer of DesiYou Fall.
And I'm Valerie Kaur. I'm the writer and producer of Divided We Fall.
Can you tell us a little bit about the movie?
Sure, maybe you should start since the project began with Valerie.
Well, the film follows my journey across America in the aftermath of 9/11, capturing stories of hate violence, of fear, of unspeakable loss in the Sikh and Muslim and Arab American communities. The journey sort of turns into this larger exploration of who counts as American. If we divide the world into us and them, who counts as one of us? And the entire journey ends in Punjab, India, where I find the heart of America in the words of a widow. So it's the first feature documentary on hate in the aftermath of 9/11. We had our world premiere in September of 2006. It was 5 years in the making. And since then we've been on this whirlwind tour across the country. We just flew in from Toronto and we're so pleased to be here for our LA premiere.
That is so wonderful. Yeah, you know, it's really interesting because after 9/11, there was a lot of, violence towards Indian people, especially Punjabi people, Sikh people with turbans. And what were the challenges that you had to face doing this? I'm sure there were a lot.
Well, I think the first big challenge was just practical. Valerie's began the project and I met her in 2003. So I came on board when she had already been on the road and had all this footage. So really the first challenge was how to actually do it. We didn't really have any idea. We sort of just threw ourselves into it. And, we developed it over a couple of years. We got a big grant from Panavision and from Kodak, gave us all this film for free. So we went back on the road. And so one of the big challenges was how would we shape the story? Because the documentary is really written kind of in the editing. Because there's especially with all the footage we had, there's any number of ways to tell it. But for us, it was also Valerie's personal journey, but also a journey sort of into a very unique time in American history, into really the heart of America, and in a time where we're really questioning and seeing what this picture of diversity, this picture of multiculturalism was. So how to shape the story and how to create it was really the biggest challenge. Of course, there was the usual production challenges of like, how do we have money to do it,
right.
And how
all films takes a lot of money to make a film, right?
Yes.
You all know now.
So we had those concerns too, but we had people who worked for free. We maxed our credit cards. We got these big corporations behind us like Panavision and Kodak, and we were able to pull it together in just under half a decade. So.
Well, I think it's amazing because I'm sure a lot of people are going to come out and watch this movie for sure. So I have to ask you a question. Were you in New York when 9/11 took place? Where were you?
I was actually the day before, on September 10th was my first day in graduate film school here in Los Angeles. So September 11th was my second day as a filmmaker at the AFI, and then.
I was here in California in the Central Valley where my parents have lived. My parents have been in this place for, my family's been here for almost 100 years. So I was in my hometown when 9/11 happened. And shortly after, we heard about the first Sikh man killed on September 15th, Balbir Singh Sodhi in Phoenix. And he was someone my family knew. So it was as if an uncle had been murdered. And I immediately got in my car with my cousin. He had an old camera. I had a list of questions, and we drove across the country. And one of the first places we ended up visiting was New York City, where I got to hear the stories at Ground Zero about people who survived the attacks and soon after survived hate violence in the aftermath of the attacks.
Well, you know what? It's all well worth it. All the money spent, and that's your passion for the movie, and that's amazing. I want to shake your hand for that. Thank you so much for doing that.
Empower the They See in You.